Brand loyalty is pretty much a dead concept when it comes to the car industry these days. With so many of us feeling the pinch on our bank accounts every month, more and more car buyers are choosing their next car with their wallets rather than with their hearts. And that's why Chinese car brand Jaecoo, which has only actually been in the UK for 8 months now, is already trouncing some of the much more established competition. But the question is, are Jaecoo's cars actually any good? Let's find out. Jaecoo set its sights really high with this, the Jaecoo 7. At 4.5 meters long, it's a rival for really established cars like the Volkswagen Tiguan and Nissan Qashqai and Ford Kuga. This, though, is doing it with, well, a face that's best described by the internet as a Range Rover from Temu. Personally, I think it looks more like Jaws from the old James Bond film, but look at it. It's got serious presence. It's got LED lights, it's got slightly boring black paint, but you can get it with some funky two-tone options. Now, if you want a Jaecoo 7, they start from £30,000 for a front-wheel drive petrol engine version in the basic trim. This one is a plug-in hybrid. It's £35,000, but that gets you all of the gadgets, all of the toys, and it comes only in the top spec luxury trims. 35 grand, just for some context, the most basic version of the plug-in hybrid Tiguan is 43 grand. So this is undercutting its main rival by about £8,000. Where have those cost savings come from? We'll try and find out in this video. Right, very brief family history. Jaecoo and its sister brand Omoda are owned by Chery, which is a massive conglomerate that started out building engines. And this uses that company's plug-in hybrid system called the Super Hybrid System. 1.5 litre petrol engine and a motor for 204 horsepower. Now it's got an 18.3 kilowatt hour battery that can fast charge at 40 kilowatts, which is quite good, but not as big or as fast as the one in the more expensive Tiguan plug-in hybrid. This can do 56 miles of electric driving on paper, and in total, if you fill the petrol tank and the battery, it's got a range of over 700 miles. It's very efficient. Oh, 19-inch wheels on this top spec one, and these flush-mounted door handles can break ice, apparently, down to minus 30 degrees C. So unlike other manufacturers with these, naming no names, this will actually be usable in winter, apparently. And there's going to be a four-wheel drive version as well, which can wade through 60 centimeters of water and do some funky off-roading stuff thanks to emulating differential locks. Would you take one off-road? Probably not, but you can. Right, time for a look at the Jaecoo 7's interior, and this might go on a bit because there's a lot that I like and don't like as well. So when you get in, you're presented with a massive 15-inch screen, which has got wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. That shrinks down to 13 inches in the entry-level version. Digital dashboard, it's clear, but it's got loads of information going on. It's got very similar graphics to what we've seen on BYDs, Cherys, and Omodas as well. Equipment levels are very good in this luxury model. You've got twin wireless phone chargers, which can charge up to 50 watts. You've also got what they call a 540-degree camera. So when you indicate and stuff, you get an external view of the car with the indicators flashing. It's actually really cool and quite helpful. Right, let's talk about some of the bits that aren't so good. So this screen is an absolute faff to use. Stuff is buried in the menus and it's really annoying. You've got to use it to adjust the mirrors, even though you can assign that to a shortcut button on the steering wheel. You've got to adjust the head-up display through there. It's great you've got a head-up display. Annoying how you adjust it, but you might not do that very often. But basically the menus on this are just very confusing and nothing is exactly where you want to find it. Right, other little bits and pieces. Door bins, they're big, but the barrier on them is quite low, so stuff might fall out. This rear view mirror is at complete odds with the build quality of the rest of the car, because this is all leathery, perforated stuff, imprinted stuff, and then this wobbles around when you just touch it. It's like it's come from an old Fiat Panda that's done 200,000 miles. This luxury model, though, gets heated and cooled seats, which feel very, very nice. You've got a decent sized glove box, you've got cup holders, you've got some storage in there, which is refrigerated. And you've got a row of buttons here as well to put it in EV mode or hybrid mode and all the rest of it. Sunroof is very big. That's standard on this luxury model, and it opens and stuff, but you have got to have your foot on the brake and probably put your seatbelt on to be able to use it, which has been a bit of a faff when we're filming. Cameraman Ollie is currently having his leg licked by a dog. That's a very cute dog. Get a shot of the dog, Ollie. We'll call him Sebastian. But yeah, so it's a real mixed bag. The usability is the worst bit of the cabin, to be honest, because all the tech is good, apart from when you come to driving it, which we're going to do in a minute. Rear seat space in the Jaecoo 7 is pretty palatial for a car in this class. Look, I'm 6'3". That seat will actually go forward a bit when I turn the car on to get into my driving position, so I'm going to have loads of room. I've got just enough foot room, although not loads height-wise, and Loads of headroom as well, even with the panoramic sunroof. And the seats are at a nice relaxed angle, although I am falling into the middle a bit. Feels like it's angling me ever so slightly. But we've got a completely flat floor in the middle, a reasonably wide middle seat, easy accessible isofix points, doors that open just about wide enough to get a child seat in without bashing it. And you've got a centre armrest with 2 cup holders here, which aren't very deep, so I wouldn't like the chance of something not falling over. Other little storage bits and bobs. You've got these little pockets on the back seats here, one each side, which you could fit phones in, and you've got just nice comfy headrests really, so it's pretty good. And best of all, the sunroof extends all the way back over the back seats, so your backseat passengers don't feel like third-rate citizens. Other handy features of the rear seats include a USB-A and a USB-C down here, and you can move the passenger seat. Apologies if you were distracted in that last segment by the flashing lights here. We've accidentally set the atmosphere lamp, ambient lighting, to be in time with the music on the radio, and I've turned the radio down. Apparently you can choose between something like 16.1 million colours for ambient lighting. I can only really see blue, red, green, different shade of blue. I'm not going to sit here and list 16.1 million colours. I only know about 4. Is taupe a colour? Taupe? Turquoise? Around the back, the Jaecoo 7 is giving Range Rover Sport, as all the cool kids on TikTok would say. It looks oddly similar. The PHEV badge on this one, the V is a lightning bolt to remind you it uses electricity. Looks a little bit anonymous to my eyes from the back. Now, you get an electric opening boot on this top spec luxury model, but the boot itself isn't very big. If you get a hybrid, it's only 412 litres, which is only about 20 bottles of Coke bigger than a Volkswagen Golf. But look, you got a flat load lip there and it goes in. It's just not deep that way. If you get the petrol version, that's much bigger, it's 500 litres. Under the boot floor in this one, you've got some space for your charging cables and whatnot. You've got a 12-volt socket there and some hooks. It is, it's okay. It's got a nice wide opening, and it can only tow 1.5 tons, which is sort of middle of the road for a tow car. But hey, it's cheap, isn't it? Sorry, affordable. One neat bit of design on a Jaecoo 7, it looks like it's got no rear window wiper, but it does. They've done a Hyundai, and poked it up here, so you can't see it when you're driving, but it has got a rear wiper. Right, we're going to go for a drive in the Jaecoo 7. You put your foot on the brake, there's no start or stop button, you just get in with the key, and then you pull it down into D. Now quickly, if you're going between drive and reverse, quite often it will go into neutral in between and you'll roll about a little bit, then you have to do it again. A little bit annoying. But as we're going to find out, that's not actually the most annoying thing about this car. But before we go into that, let's talk about performance briefly. 0 to 62 in this hybrid is just over 8 seconds. If you get the normal petrol, that's about 10 seconds. If you get the all-wheel drive version of the petrol, it goes up to 11.3 seconds, which I would say is actually a bit too slow. But what do I know? Absolutely nothing. That petrol version, by the way, is a 1.6 turbocharged petrol with about 140 horsepower. But anyway, to actually drive, this is sort of okay to start with. You've got a decent view out, big door mirrors. View out the back corner is rubbish, like it is in most big SUVs. But then the ride is just a bit jiggly all the time. Now, Jaecoo says that all of their cars are now set up at their European Technical Centre in Germany, but it does feel just way too jiggly most of the time, and it is slightly distracting. It pitches a lot on the brakes as well, and it just never settles down, and you might get used to it if you live somewhere with smooth roads, but certainly where I live, it just constantly feels like you're jiggling about on a balance board, and it's just a little bit annoying. Next thing that has been a bit annoying, the advanced driver assistance systems. This is absolutely littered with all the latest and greatest driver assistance tech, such as lane keeping assist, attention monitoring, speed limit warning bongs, and it's all quite annoying. Obviously, driver assistance bongs for the speed limit thing, you've always got that on a new car, but you have to go into a lot of menus to turn it off, and you can, I think, do it through the voice commands if you're feeling especially, well, like you want to keep your eyes on the road and actually be safe. But for me, it's things like the lane keep assist. It's so aggressive. You can adjust it, but it just feels like it locks the steering out. And then by the time you've gone through to try and turn it off, the attention monitoring has said you're not looking at the road enough. So it bongs at you for that. It's just too annoying, frankly. And I'm used to this stuff in most modern cars, but this just feels very badly tuned, especially for driving on the left-hand side of the road like we do in the UK. And on motorways, it's just always trying to fight you, trying to bong. The adaptive cruise control is slightly scared of its own shadow as well. It's just not a great experience. Now, what is good is the hybrid system. It is really smooth and it's really quiet as well. The engine uses some clever ignition cycle to reduce combustion temperatures and improve efficiency, and it does a very good job of being very efficient. This car's averaged about 55 miles per gallon in its hard life as a press car, and you never really hear the petrol engine kick in. It's nice and smooth. And if it did kick in noisily, it'd be drowned out by the bongs. Yeah. So the hybrid system, very good. The rest of it, see me, needs more work. Now, did make a little error earlier. Only one half of this wireless charging pad is actually a wireless charger. The other one is just a phone rest. And the window switches, they feel like they go the wrong way as well. Yeah, not a great car to drive, this. It's not the worst, and it could be fixed with some suspension tuning and tuning of the advanced driver assistance systems. But for now, it's not great, to be honest. But let's head back to me for a conclusion while my brain is still functioning. The 540-degree camera that you get when you indicate is very, very cool. Yeah, I don't know if you should be looking down there when you're pulling out of a junction, but it's a cool piece of tech that'll make your friends go, wow, that's quite cool. What did you say this was? A Jaecoo? As it stands, the Jaecoo 7 is a somewhat mediocre car, but it does feel like it's only a suspension tune and some software updates from being quite good. And for the price, if they can fix the hyperactive driver assistance stuff, sort the infotainment software and sort the ride, it will be very competitive. But at the moment, it's slightly hard to recommend against its more established rivals, even though it is a bit of a bargain if you want a hybrid. And it's a bit annoying though, because the hybrid system works really well, and that is really efficient, and it's sort of okay to drive, and it's got loads and loads of kit included as standard. So it's a real mixed bag. If you look at this and think, wow, that's gonna make me feel good about myself, go and buy one, you vain person. But if you actually want a better, more rounded car, you're better off sticking with the established competition for now. But given this is Jaecoo's pretty much first attempt in the UK, I think it's fair to say the Chinese are well and truly on the way to dethroning the European competition. But anyway, that all got a bit serious, didn't it? Thank you for watching this. If you've liked it, please hit like, subscribe to the Motorpoint YouTube channel, go down to the comments and tell me to get my hands out my pockets, like my kids do all the time. It's dangerous, apparently. I'm just cold. No!